This one is kind of hard to talk about. It's not really good, but it's also not really bad. It's sort of right smack down the middle. Oh, and if I sound weird today, I'm sort of recovering from a cold. Sorry. Really, the main thing this movie has going for it is its admirable technical aspects, being a Western animated film intended for mature audiences, which is actually a lot more rare than you would otherwise think. All the little details like the animation, the cinematography, and the voice acting are really, really good. It's just kind of underwhelming. The story follows a British writer named Michael Stone, voiced by David Thewlis. He's traveling to Cincinnati to give a lecture based on a book he wrote about customer service. Right off the bat, it becomes very clear that Michael is depressed and feeling isolated and seems to think everything is pretty much the same. Until he finds Lisa, voiced by Jennifer Jason Leigh. And for one small moment, something in his life is different. It's a classic story about wanting something different in life, but only to discover that the grass isn't necessarily greener on the other side of the hill. And it's a story that's been done a couple times before, and honestly, a little better in my opinion. Now the good news is, what the film lacks in entertainment, it sort of makes up for with the animation. Particularly its unique ability to bring a great amount of humanity into the animation. If you've seen the trailer for this film, it is very, very obvious that they're puppets. And yet when watching the movie, they never feel like puppets, which is a very challenging thing to accomplish. Unfortunately, all that admirable animation and humanization of animated characters is not enough to make up for the lack of entertainment value and the lackluster story. Now, I know I keep going back and forth about whether I like this film or not, and that's because I really want so much to like this movie completely. I want this movie to be amazing, but unfortunately, it's just not. As admirable and as amazing as the animation and humanization of the characters is, I didn't really enjoy watching it. That's not to say that I only expect massive entertainment from my movies. Of course I expect something deeper than that. But any decent filmmaker or filmmaking teacher will tell you that pretty pictures do not make a good movie. And while I can safely say that this is one of the most admirable animated films I have ever seen, I can't really say it's a masterpiece. And I can most certainly say that it is not worth the Oscar for Best Animated Feature. That needs to go to Inside Out. So the best recommendation I can give is, if you want to see a Western animated film that does a really good job at telling a compelling, mature story while having beautiful animation all throughout, watch Paranorman. But if you want to see that same thing done maybe about halfway in theaters right now, then I suppose you can give it a shot. After all, if anything's worth seeing, it is worth seeing at least once. Ladies and gentlemen, I am The Norm. Thanks for watching.